Yo, people, we're back again on the pod. The first part of December, and well, this weekend was a good weekend. North London Derby, comeback season from United and Chelsea. And we are man like Ramia back for the first time in like a month. Ramia boy.
Yeah.
I hope you fix your phone.
Yeah, it's ready now. It's ready.
And we are John, Jadiel, and Kirdell. What's going on, fellas?
All right.
Where is he when? You inside?
Jadiel in Mexico chilling, boy. Cancun.
Let's see, work hard, play harder.
Man, need some stress relief from the Arsenal.
I say want to play harder at all, but you know that was good.
Well, let me get into the Arsenal game now, Jadiel. Spurs wash all your boy.
I wouldn't use the word wash, yeah? I
Yeah,
wouldn't use
I
the
would
word
agree.
wash. What
I
man
guess
you
if
get
you-
from Spurs was wash. That was a wash, right?
Fair enough.
But we obviously get outplayed tactically. 100% get outplayed tactically, right? But I wouldn't call that washing because second half, Mourinho Parky boss as Mourinho does. Right? They had like 20% possession. They had no touches inside our box. So to say washing, I had station to make. But at the same time, we really do nothing with the possession, that boy. You know, we had 80% in the ball and we just had it.
I had
You
like
know?
60 something crosses and
Correct.
not
Right?
one.
We had probably as much crosses as we had possession. Right? But then when you look at things like shots on goal, shots on target, that's why we have almost two, maybe one. Right?
Yeah.
So again, tactically, we get outplayed from Tottenham, right? I think Mourinho wash Arteta. That's what I would say. Mourinho wash Arteta, but I don't think we get wash from our team perspective. But as I say, for Arteta out, I've been preaching this since July, right? I've been preaching this since July. I don't go and reshare my Facebook post, right? Arteta out. The man is not the man for the job. I don't know what, but you see, he do, but he's a catfish, boy. He's a catfish. He came in, right? And we didn't really get to see too much of him because the whole COVID thing happened. And then he come back and he give us a FA Cup, a little community shield. We beat Liverpool in the league, and then we beat City, and we do a lot of fun things. And we're like, okay, yeah, this man is the chosen one. And then his true self
Chosen.
revealed.
Chosen.
That's him, right? His true self revealed. And now people finally seeing what I was seeing since summertime, right?
If I ain't being hard on him, man, you gotta give him some time, man.
No. I'm not being hard, man. Because the first game of the season was good. The second game was nonsense. The third game was nonsense. The fourth game was nonsense. The fifth game was nonsense. And people keep telling me every game, give my chance because it's one game, it's one game, it's one game. At some point, it'll stop being one game. And I think we reached the
No, but how
point.
long you expect
We reached the
him?
point where it's not one game
Like-
again. Like we reached to that point now where we cannot say it's one game. You can't say it's two games. You can't say it's a streak game. It is 9 games in a row. But I think we're playing nonsense. Because the games we win early in the season was still nonsense games. We should have the West Ham. Right?
Exactly. They should have beat West Ham. I agree. You were Fulham,
Right.
I mean. The West Ham was
Right.
your best game for the season.
Right. So the thing is, like, I don't think we had any game I could really say was really convincing after maybe game 3. It's been poor games, and at first people saying too, well, you play Liverpool, or you play Man City, or you play hard games. So at some point it was like 2 wins, 2 losses, and it was like Liverpool and Man City, and it's like, well, it's big teams, And then it started becoming 3 losses, 4 losses, 5 losses, 6 losses, and I say, but do how much big teams in the league now, boy? To say that okay, well, we consistently get beat from big teams now, boy. At some point, right? That they say, well, you know what? After that might be the problem. Because you're playing the same system, game after game after game. It's a big team, a small team, a medium team. You don't really care who you're playing. You stick into your system. That clearly not working, right?
But there are some seasons you just have to take it L and just get the manager his time. Because last season Lampard get his time and
This is not an
Lampard.
L, Scarlett. This is potentially a R, as in relegation. This is what it is. It's a potential R, brother. Right? This is not L. I had no coach me. I don't think I was like I win the league, That's not my intentions, Like, and I hear saying here, boy, we sure to win the league, we should be winning the league. My intention was that top 6. Right? I want to see my team at least beating people, losing games, of course, because no team, right, realistically in this league and this day and age, really gonna go unbeaten. So I expect teams to lose. I expect my team to lose points at least every month a few points must drop, you know.
So win more
Oh.
than lose.
But I must win when I lose, and at least if I lose, then boy, let me at least be entertained now, boy. Like, oh gosh, boy, let me at least be happy what I see now, boy. Let me see some effort now. Let me see a game plan now.
So
But it's boring
you
football.
think that Arsenal problem right now, is it a tactical problem with the coach or the quality of the players it have in the
I
club?
think tactical player with the coach. And why I say that is because Arsenal, for the past 10 years, I cannot say we ever had really quality all over the pitch. We have never had quality all over the pitch for the past 10 years, at least for the 10 years. Right?
Fair enough.
So if Arsene Wenger, down to Emery, right, was doing a better job with the nonsense players we had. These Arsenal worst starter Premier League players.
Since
For the history of the Premier League, the worst
True.
stuff in the history of the Premier League for Arsenal.
But I
Right?
think that
So you can't
although
compare the
that
quality of players because yes. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
although that Arsenal probably had nonsense players under Emery, the man had more experienced players under Emery. So like it would have had the Monreal, it would have had the Giroud, it would have Ramsey. So granted that you may say that the balance of the team was nonsense, it's still that good players around who
Yeah,
know
but
the
I
for
feel like
years, like you know,
remember,
who can have a
I
good
feel
impact.
like I feel like that still have that though because he still have okay. I don't like Xhaka, but Xhaka's an experienced player, right? Which is why they just want to play him, right? I hate Xhaka, that passion,
I
but
don't
he's
think he's a good
experienced,
footballer either.
And El
right? But
Neni's an
he
experienced player
experienced,
too. El Neni too.
and then he experienced. You bring Willian in, hella
He does play
experience,
football.
and then he was the boss against Manu. What do you
I
mean?
thought he was a journalist, you know. I thought he was
Yeah, William who have experience. You have Party, not plenty Premier League experience, but he still is a high of experience as a footballer. You have Aubameyang who should have enough experience.
Yeah.
Right? You have Lacazette who I think also should have enough experience.
Bellerin.
So I feel like we have oh gosh. I don't know. That one I don't know. Right? But the thing is
boss.
we have players in the team who I think have experience. Right? Like I think the balance between experience and youth to me is very decent in the team. Like it's not the whole team young and not the whole team old. I think the balance is good. I think now it's to figure out okay, how you gonna bring out the best in the players who have experience and bring out the best in the players who more young and more able and agile. Right? I said before, this game plan where we playing 5 across the midfield, which is really 5 across in the back, but 5 across in the midfield, right? You don't see yourself, we set up tactically to cross the ball. That's our game plan, right? Nobody could cross the ball. Saka can't cross the ball, barely. William supposed to cross the ball, but carry cross the ball either.
Tierney could cross though.
Tierney could cross, but
Yeah.
I think about how much times he's actually crossed the ball with like space to cross and also space for the players to attack the ball. Because usually when you cross in a tight spot.
Or the kind of had the crosses that was in Bethlehem, or it was never going to be Tottenham in the A.
Exactly. So then why are we still doing it? Why? You understand? That's why
I don't know
still
because
doing it.
I mean Toby and Dias probably two are the top 10 aerial duels defenders in the league by far. Far.
And
so
then
my
if you look at it
crossing
too,
was just wasting now, boy.
Yeah, and the bus was packed. Right?
Let me tell you what that is.
Hurricane bottom ball out.
Let me tell you what that is. That is desperation because I remember when Moyes was at United, it had a game, I think it was Fulham or something, at home. And United had like a record number of crosses into the box in the first half alone. And that's when things was already going downhill. It was done January, February sometime. And everybody was wondering, what the hell this man doing was because you just throwing in crosses, cross after cross, and
no,
nothing
but
going anywhere.
I don't think it's desperation, you know, because this is what that plan is. Because the man came on a press conference and said, if we keep crossing as much as we're crossing right now, statistically, right? Because apparently he's a statistician now. He said statistically, if we keep crossing the ball, we will score more and more goals. And then the next game, he come and he cross more than he ever crossed before in his life, and he get less goals.
Still lose, yeah.
Right? So I don't think it's like a last gasp. Like, okay, let's try this. I think this is his man plan. This is what he believes in. He believes that as such we crossing the ball and we're going to score doing that. But I feel like he missing the point that one, we crossing the ball from good positions. Nobody crossing the ball early because to me, if we doing that crossing ball thing, it's supposed to be early crosses where they have space between the keeper and the defenders. And they're hoping for somebody to run onto the ball ahead of the defenders. But when you're crossing the ball late and the men don't pack the box already, now 50-50 other and not 50-50 because the man can't head the ball.
Yeah.
Right?
And
So
it's like
Look,
the
but
man them always across the ball from a static position, like them stop to cross the ball instead of running onto it and whipping
And then and then anybody in the box also static because they're just waiting for the cross.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody running onto a ball or onto a cross. It's men in the box stand up basically waiting for it and then doing the stupid head back jump thing where they can jump up with the head back and hope for the best. Right? So
no,
the man in the box static, many crossing the ball static. It's not working. It's not
yeah,
working.
you think that crossing was probably the only way to get to Spurs because you can't play through the middle because as I said the bus parked there, they have 10 men behind the ball. They can't go through the middle.
No. But hold on, Scarlett, right? I agree. A team party bus, you carry go through the middle too much, right? But how about, and let's hear me out because maybe I'm wrong. I'm not a coach, I don't have my license, right? But how about you try and do a little bit more direct long balls, right? Since they're getting the ball wide and crossing, why not try and bring them out a little bit and then try and send the ball longer, direct?
Because all they do
More
have a
straight
target
direct
man.
balls down the
All they do have
field.
a target man.
Right, hold on.
Do have a target, man.
And
Correct.
then play for the second. And play for the scraps. You're not playing for the first ball, you're playing for scraps.
Yeah, but yeah,
That's what you're playing
Holberg,
for. You
who
put the
is
ball
his
long.
man? He eating all the rubbish, you know.
There's a big gamble too.
It's
You
okay,
play
but
for the second
Holberg will
ball.
win every
crossing
second
the
goal.
but
Third, fourth,
you had
fifth,
a
sixth.
gamble, guys. See, but you had to do something different for us. What I'm trying to say that
Yeah.
something different had happened. I understand a gamble. It might work, it might not work. But you don't know, you know what was not working? Crossing ball from the wide. That was not working. So it's a matter of okay, well, that don't work. I'm gonna try picking the ball long. Okay, that's not working direct.
I think it's
That
still
don't
even
work
have no
too.
good long
Let me
range
try and
shooters.
tiki
I
taka.
can't help
That
you
not
notice.
working. Aye.
No, but how Luis could play long ball
True.
from the back, so it could work. They just need a
Yeah,
target
but
man up
he
top.
was yeah, but the thing is Sky here next thing too, right? I remember that time Wenger was losing that game, like 1-0 something. And last 10 minutes in the game, that man say, "Wait, boy, with the soccer, go and play forward. Go and be a target man. You know, go and win the header and win the first ball and try and fit it on something."
But wow, but
I
Arsenal
think he
don't
come
have
back
that
and
kind of
score.
defenders anymore.
Yeah, and Jadiel, that's Wenger.
What you
Wenger could get
mean?
away with doing that. If Ateta do that, if Ateta say
No,
play centre
no,
back,
John, no.
Rob
he
Holding.
decide to send one of them up in front.
Rob Holding.
Men go watch it like him
I
mad.
swear, if he do that, no. I'll be like, that man is thinking outside the box. That man
Now,
showing that
Gabriel
he's
actually
willing
would
to
be a good man
change
to do
what
something
he
like that. Gabriel is a good man,
is.
so you couldn't eat.
Okay, yeah, I could see Gabriel doing that, yeah.
Exactly. He can head the ball. Honestly,
Yeah, but
holding
Gabriel is the
guys,
best
all them is
defender.
tall physique players. Right, but we're losing 2-0. We're losing 2-0. And Tottenham clearly not attacking us either. Not say Tottenham is like attacking and like we know we're well defensive. I think if you're playing Gabriel up there, doesn't mean you're leaving that spot open. No, you can just be like, better come the back. Yeah, speed. Right? In the counter attack, in the counter attack with speed most likely. Bellerin can play there. Turning, you know what? Instead of playing that position, come back and play inside too. You know? Like you can put men there who not physically able to jump and head for the
Okay,
ball.
yeah,
Tell
yeah.
Ceballos, come back and play a little more defensive. Let you put Hoolin and Gabriel up. And then just kick long ball up to them and hope for the best. If he
Let
did
me
that, I
disagree with you a
if
little
he
bit,
did,
Jadiel. Because I understand you saying Ateta is the problem. But Wenger and Fergie were good coaches in that they make men who wasn't good look like if they was good and look like if they could have ball. I think in as much as Wenger had some of the same players that Ateta have now, his coaching used to make them look good when really they wasn't good. So now it's not that the players were good all the time, you know. It was always bad players. So in as much as Ateta had to go out, I think the recruitment had to be better. They had to get better players.
right, but that happened overnight.
That's my point. That will answer my next point. I think that regardless of the outcome, whatever Arsenal delusion Arsenal fans had, I think Tottenham was always going to win. I don't think it have nobody really have an answer for Son right now. I think he's the best left winger in the league. by the extension world football.
You don't even know what
I
Son
put him
is
over
because Son
Neymar,
playing
I'm sorry.
everywhere. Son
I
playing
put him over
everywhere.
Neymar right now as he left winger. Right?
Neymar.
Son is class, total class. What I think are still lacking is quality players. Like, you can never watch at any point of the pitch and say, well, hey, this man really good and he could start on my team. They don't have one player in Arsenal you can really say something more than a boy.
I would say that for Tierney. I would say that for Tierney.
Aubameyang was the only good player, and
I think Tierney, I can't say.
Take away Aubameyang goals. He a little better than Danny Welbeck.
But you take it away this season, he only have 2 goals a season.
Right? Exactly. Because the man, he can dribble, he surely can cross, he can create. The man don't really have, he have 1 or 2 good off the ball runs. 1 or 2, he really strong on the ball. What he doing? You know?
Right. So then why you playing? So why we crossing the ball to him then? Well, he need 2 things. He needs space.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And he need to drive at people. Right? He can't play the back to the goal. He can't head the ball. He can't get physical with people.
I think he could body ball. He could body ball. He could. But now it's somebody who
He's not button somebody. If somebody going with him, he's not putting the header.
True.
It had to be a clear cut, open header.
True. If he got open chance, he would score.
Correct. Sure. So then, if that's the case, you say, you know what? All right, cool. Let me try and play a football game where we gotta make sure we have Aubameyang and maybe say William, right? Making runs in behind the defense, which means you gotta play a little bit deeper, probably, right? We have put Ceballos who could pass the ball because Ceballos doesn't have vision. But he's played so deep that he can really get pretty, right? Stop playing the same formation or stop.
Well, I was now going to ask that to know because
stop playing that formation.
It's December and it's the festive period. We're going into the festive period now where games is like every 2 or 3 days. So what Arsenal have to do to prepare themselves for this festive period? Because that game against Chelsea on Boxing Day. And
I think we need to get ready, coach. Unless
I
honestly, guys,
I don't think Arteta is the problem. I think any coach who want coach Arsenal right now will suffer. They will suffer. They don't have enough quality.
Suffer, yes, sir. Suffer. And not to suffer. I agree that they'll find a hard time, but I do not think they'll be 15th position. If Brighton win today, they'll be 16th position, right? So I think that yes, the team will find it hard to play, but as a coach, you'll be like, you know what, guys, this not working. 10 games for the season we play. This clearly is not the way, right?
No, but
because right now we're not working.
Totally honest, the teams that are above Arsenal, if you were to check player for player, at most points, Arsenal might be about 12th in the league player for player if you're choosing teams. And quality in that boy.
The thing is, I understand what you're saying, but look at teams like Southampton, right?
Exactly.
That man like Walker who should have been out of his prime, right?
Yeah.
He should have been out of his prime. I mean, he should have been out of his prime, and he's still doing anything, starting games, playing good. You know, it's a plenty above Arsenal who I could think they don't have so much quality, but the coach is getting the best out of them. You know? And that's what I'm asking for, you know. Me not asking you to win the league, me not asking you to beat everybody. I'm asking you to like make sure your team get the best of what other team like get the best of what what do you have right now? If it's 5 out of 10 players, then make sure you get 5 out of them. Don't get 2. You know?
Yeah.
That's what I'm asking for. Let's get the best out of the players that you have to work with at the moment. Right? And that's what you're not doing.
But
how long that contract is for?
2030.
Well, at least 3 years, but at least 3 more frustrations. 2 more years of frustration.
I tell you, this is your only frustration. Yeah, next season after he'll be.
If we need Premier League next year, that's the question.
Man,
if we still here,
you're not that serious. But what me think a part of the problem is that it's like who him learn under. When something now work for Pep, the man just spend $250 million and fix it. Him in a club but don't have that kind of money.
True.
So it's like you realize enough of them coach here now are coming like them just want a ready-made team. Nobody now prepare players again. Like if you're not ready, them ship you out, and if them just buy who them want for come in. So
Correct.
it
And
so if you're in a system now where you're not getting the money and like you have a little one track idea, you are gonna suffer.
True.
You are gonna suffer. You
I
are
think
True.
going
it's
to suffer
But
because go ahead, go ahead.
I think that way up that point you're making real valid. But what I'm saying is that Arsenal had some money to their disposal. And I don't think that they're buying proper. They're not buying properly. Also, there are real good deals that they could take that they're not taking. Like it have plenty free agent players that Arsenal could have gotten that they could have add to their roster. You Arsenal buy one good player I can remember, and that is probably this Gabriel fella. Aubameyang was a good buy for the most part. But when you buy Nicolas Pepe, you buy Saliba and send him back France. What's the purpose of that? You're wasting
and then
money.
he even registered for him for this league, which is confusing.
Exactly. Just to start Rob Holding, like this is
You
mistakes
buy
that Arsenal making.
you correct, you buy Guendouzi, follow them, send him to on loan to Hertha Berlin. You know?
Exactly.
You have Ozil on a big contract,
Sure,
come
And we
back
don't
in
even
a
go
game,
there.
you have him sitting on the bench. You know?
But you're
It's
right. But
chaos.
in addition to that, though, when you look on the team sheet, I don't think there's anybody creative to pick a pass. Like El Nene and Ceballos not going to do it, or Xhaka and
I
the
think
next fella
Ceballos
not
could
going
pick
to
a
do it.
pass if he's in a. I've seen Ceballos pick out some passes and I was impressed with. I think he plays too deep to be in that position.
Right, because he's playing in the flat five right there.
Right. So he comes back and he's one of the man who's dropping to the back and pick up the ball and try and carry it forward, right? So honestly, I think Ozil, as much as people might say he's lazy and whatever the case may be, I really think Ozil could come in and try to unlock some defenses, right?
Easy.
And I think also that he doesn't change the formation, play funny back, right? Go back to the basics of how we used to play. Have an attacking midfielder. We have no attacking midfielder. We play
I
5-3.
I agree, but I think that the the era for pragmatic men who don't move much in football gain phase out. So you see where you could have like a slow playing defensive midfielder or a slow playing attacking midfielder, and they would, that why Jorginho suffering, Ozil suffering, Busquets suffering, Mata suffering because the football gets so at such a high pace right now. Everybody playing high press, counter press. Like you would
Mm-hmm.
never get a chance to take your time on the ball and create something like that. You had to be a player with plenty mobility for something like that. So I think, no, granted, I think Ozil still should play once he put in better ethic, but they should also look forward to trying somebody who could play in the middle of the park, who could run and probably pick a pass. I think Arsenal should probably even try Willian attacking midfield.
I keep saying this. Try my attacking midfield. And that way you can play Pepe. Because right now it's like you don't want to play Pepe because they are willing in the field. So when I go Aubameyang like as a Pepe and then put William behind him as attacking midfielder.
Well, the
And
front
then
four,
play
working for club, so why can't work for
yeah. Because he's
Exactly.
scared, he's scared, he's scared, he's scared, he's scared. He's a panty man. He's scared.
No,
I'm
but
telling
you're
you,
right
he's scared.
because Ateta, I think, was focused so much on trying not to concede that he
Mm-hmm.
not being able to score now, boy.
Mm-hmm.
Like it crazy. Arsenal could play forward going forward, and I think William probably the only player who could play that 10 position. And
Correct.
because one, the man have a real good work rate. The man could shoot. He's probably the best striker of the ball out of everybody in the whole team from range.
Right.
I mean, that is, and
Correct.
yeah, and he could pass. So
And then behind them you play Party and Nelly, just to make sure the defense a little solid. And you play Cedric, Gabriel, Tierney, and whoever you want to play next because all of them is
get
madness.
fed up
Louis
of
Four, you're
Bellerin,
going to
boy.
forget for somebody.
He fed up of Bellerin.
Yeah, I put up a year, right? And you play it, and yeah, and I football there. You have your back so decent, it's solid. You have Party and then who defensive enough. You have Cedric who could actually defend, right? You have Tierney and you have Gabriel, and then make a defend. And then you have your front four to go wild, do madness. What you do when you play your football? You know?